There we go. Here we go again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the kitchen. Thank you for joining me tonight. For some reason, I wanted to say we have a great show for you. I don't know. I intend to do a great show. Anyway, that's not what I say. I say I hope everyone has had a lovely Thursday. I hope everyone's week is going well, that they're crushing it at work and during projects and everything else. It could it could be yes, but I need to like have a script or something. Mark always says that. Anyway, thank you for joining me in the kitchen. We're gonna be making our weekly dinner and dessert. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I'm trying some new things. I also have a new toy hanging out on my desk to play with in my off time. It's a little slug, 3D printed, but it's so articulated and fun. And I think I might paint it a little bit. We'll see. There is nothing inappropriate about my little slug buddy. Look at him. Look at him. Just crawls along. You love it. You love a good slug, Xander. um, so, anyway, let's get to it. On the menu, we've got some skillet chicken, some green bean salad, and, of course, starting off by baking the cakes for our Boston cream pie. Uh, Clay's been talking about cream pie for a while, and I think this is what he wanted. So hopefully it's delicious. I am taking a chance. I am adjusting flavors. I have never tried it before. Um, I just had banoffee on the mind, and I had bananas on the counter. So I figure I'd try it. There's my abrupt transition, because I have no transition screens yet. But of course I'm going to start off with my cake because it needs to bake and then cool before I can do things to it. So let's start off with getting my dries ready. This is a half cup, right? I think it's a half cup. I hope it's a half cup. No, it's a third cup. Okay. Good to know how big your cups are before you count on them for measuring. Is that 5 or is that 6? Crap. I stopped paying attention. Let's do that again. So I can make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 6. And I need 6 and a bit. So I need 2 1/4 cups. There's the third cup. So 6 and a bit. How are you lovely folks doing? Oh, and of course I had some garbanzo flour on the counter to use, but I didn't use any, so let's just put that away. Got some cornstarch. Apparently this cake needs to be thickened. Living it up on the couch. We love it. We want it, we love it. We love it, we need it? Something. Some sort of phrase. And of course it's always fun getting the last little bit out of this container. I am honestly so excited to get this container out of the cupboard because when I was baking with my mom, she kept buying more, so I've got 2 additional full containers of cornstarch. Hi, Harry. It's also less, should I say less chaotic? Lower energy, maybe, is the appropriate thing. Nice, calm, laid back stream. Although, honestly, I bet Zach does a little better, takes more care with measurements and things, were he to be baking. Welcome in. Thank you for coming over. I hope you have something to drink and are cozy. Baking powder. So this is an interesting recipe because not only does it have baking powder, but it has buttermilk. And usually I see buttermilk in things that use baking soda because you use the acid in the buttermilk to activate your leavening. But again, I've never made a yellow cake before, so we're testing it and seeing how it's going. Hello, PB. Welcome in. My Thursday has been good. I went to the office and I got my new badge so I can get into the building again, which is lovely. Had a couple of meetings, got some stuff done, and now I'm cooking. That's been nice and chill. Yeah, I've never made a yellow cake before. Like, I might have made one out of a box at some point, but I've never made one from scratch. So I'm not sure what's going to make it yellow. The yellowest thing going into it, I guess, is the eggs. Oh, the office is fine. I really just stopped by the office to make sure my badge was working. So I saw very, very little of the office today. My normal office day is Monday. Really? Are you sure it isn't that birthday cake I made you that one time that's your favorite of all time, Sander? Think carefully about your answer. And funny enough, this recipe, the full recipe, is a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. But I'm just using the yellow cake for making the Boston cream pie. So instead of chocolate frosting, I'm going to have banana flavored custard and caramel chocolate ganache. Fourth favorite. Okay, now we'll just move on to creaming the butter, which of course takes seconds if you've had it on the counter all day, getting nice and room temperature. Love how easy that is. Take your eggs and butter out of the fridge in the morning for your baking in the evening. It'll change your life. I also apparently don't have a half cup measure anywhere. I think they're all living in various ingredient containers. So, well, it's alright. And of course, also interesting that this cake has both oil and butter in it. Interesting to whip the oil like this, kind of aerating it. No, so, and not a new camera, although I did just order a new camera. But I finally put up my, background light. So I've got a nice, bright light shining right on this area. Boop. So, yes, it does look nicer for that reason. More vanilla. And now I pre-cracked my eggs because I needed some extra yolks. And I've still got some eggs on the counter over here, ready to go for my pastry cream. So I was looking at the original recipe from a hotel in Boston that created the Boston cream pie, and they use a different sort of sponge cake for this, but I didn't want to go to the store, and that recipe took 7 eggs for the cake and 6 more for the ganache, and I only had 9 eggs. So that was one reason to go find a yellow cake recipe. Put my flour back here. I didn't turn on my oven, for I am silly. And now I need to cool it on the I should, and when I post them on YouTube, I often have recipes like ready to, or accompanying them. I'm way behind in transferring them, but like I have them all saved and ready to go. I just have to get on there and type them all out. So I should do that. But yes, if you would like to bake along, I am happy to post the recipe ahead of time somewhere. I should do that the next time I do a Nailed It challenge, because then we can like have a bake along and we can see how terrible we all are at decorating things, or rather how terrible I am and how great everyone else is. Oh. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to bake along, you could just come hang out in the kitchen with me and bake along with me in real life. Which then has the added benefit of, well, not right now, but in the future. Sometime in the upcoming weeks when you're all recovered and not on loopy meds anymore. So just nice and gently incorporating this all together. Another good reason that I didn't do the other fancy sponge cake is because it's touchy, and if you mess it up, you gotta start over and do it again. And I don't have any extra ingredients. So I would have had to buy a lot of extra eggs, just in case I messed it all up. There we go. There's my batter done. I am. I am whisking it very efficiently. And of course it's getting warm in here because the oven is on. So I got my 2 cake pans. And I have one 8-inch cake pan. And then I have my springform pan, because it is my only other pan that is also 8 inches. So that is why I have one springform and one regular cake pan. Now I already greased the bottom and put my parchment rounds in there, but I'm going to re-grease the sides just so it doesn't give me any guff coming out. And now I'll grab a scoop of some sort. I don't have a clean. I need to get myself a very large, much larger ice cream scoop. Apparently I only have little tiny ones clean right now. Oh, no. Someone else put away the dishes and just put it in the wrong spot. Hi, Pete. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Pete, I am inspired by you today. I am making kind of Boston cream pies. I'm making banoffee Boston cream pies, though. And I'm just using the ice cream scoop so I can get reasonably the same amount of batter in both pans, which means I'm going to have similar sized cakes, which just looks nice in the final product. I'm trying. I have never made a yellow cake before, Pete, and I'm not using the... I know Gil mentioned the authentic recipe, but looking at the authentic recipe, it was a fancy Genoise sponge, and I was not feeling it, so I'm just going classic yellow cake. But I've never made a yellow cake before, so I had to go find a recipe. And then I'm going to add banana to my custard, and I'm going to add caramel toffee-ish stuff to my ganache, and hope that everything works out. Yes, there will be chicken eventually too. Welcome in, Vinny. Speak of the Zark, speak of the Claymore, and he will appear. So I'm just going to level this off because I have not much else to do while the oven is still preheating. And of course, this recipe called for 3 6-inch pans, but I don't want to do a triple layer cake. I wanted 2 layers, so I'm doing 2 8-inch pans. And hopefully, it'll turn out alright. Basic yellow cake. I also don't have any acetate, so we're gonna do what we can. Maybe I will put it back in the spring form to build it once everything is baked and chilled. We're almost there. So maybe I'll use the spring form again, since I don't have any acetate, and try to make it look all nice and fancy that way. So for those on mobile Twitch, the menu today is Skillet Chicken, green bean salad, and banoffee Boston cream pie. And we just have our cakes for the cream pie mixed up and in our pans, and we're just waiting on the oven to come to temp so we can toss them in. Yes, we do love a nice thick ganache. I mean, the chocolate is the best part of anything, right? Okay. This says 30 minutes. So I'm going to check it at 20 and make sure ocean themed cake. Ocean themed. Hmm. Do you have like isomalt? Can you do the thing where you melt isomalt and color it and then dump it over ice? And then you can make coral, like the isomalt coral. Because that'd be fun. I would definitely do that if I had like a place to have molten sugar. um, oh no! I mean, who is this cake for? Is it for an environmentalist? Trying to. Oh, you wouldn't even have to color the coral that way. Make it white. Oh no. We're trying not to bleach our coral here. There we go. Got a 20-minute timer on. Okay. So now that's in, we can start the rest of our stuff. So of course, oops. You'd think I'd know how my stove works after all this time. Which knob turns on the back burner. But no. I'm gonna start my rice. Got the rest of this box of stock that I used last week. That'll flavor my rice nicely. I'm still itchy nose today. Just gonna have to wash my hands a lot. Let the child know they're not gonna have breathable atmosphere for that much longer. I'm also going to turn my water on. I should have just left it on. My water on for my green beans. So I've got some green beans here. And some wax beans. Which I'm going to just trim up. And then blanch. Blanching just means I'm going to cook them very quickly in boiling water. Just for a couple minutes. To take the edge off. Because I don't want them to lose their crispiness. I just want them to be slightly cooked. I should probably chop them into the lengths I want now, so I don't have to worry about it later. And I think last time I made this, I had them too long, so I'm gonna chop them a little smaller. Brush a blue, make a big blue frosting waves, and draw a whale. Happy first birthday! Oh, so it's a cake for the parents. My niece, for her birthday, just a couple months ago, had a narwhal cake. So we had a professional baker up the hill from us make a narwhal cake. And it was cute. It was well done. Nicely shaped. Had a rainbow horn. And honestly, I could just be snapping off the ends of these. It's probably a little faster. Yes. I'd much rather have a child as a client than a parent. I don't know, I'm using the knife at all. As long as they're fresh beans, you can do this. If they're sitting around for a long time, and they're soft, then you can't really snap them like that. But these are pretty fresh. So these are wax beans, Xander. And if you've played the board game, um, what's the bucket? Bonanza. Could not recall the name for a minute. Wax beans are right in there. Of the reputation, they gotta have a nice looking cake for the other parents. And here's my nice green beans. Oh my goodness. Got a Claymore yelling in the background. He's playing Pokemon Unite with Teo instead of being my mod. She's supposed to be. My rice was coming up to a good temp, so I just turned it down a little bit so it can simmer back there. And it's brown rice, so it'll take like 30 to 40 minutes to cook. I know, right? Sometimes when I'm working, I'll just have streams up in the background, and every once in a while, I'll just hear some scream loud, much louder than everything else has been. It's like, what the heck? I mean, I like playing as Jake because he doesn't scream all that loudly when he gets hooked, but when he's injured and run around, he is very loud. One of those people that I need to play with the quieter screaming on. Although Mark is right, I do need to try playing as Killer a few times just so I can get an idea of how to find people when they're screaming and how close like the killer can be to hear me. And I bought absolutely the wrong killer on the PlayStation because I wanted to play as Trickster, but trying to throw knives at people with a controller is probably not the greatest idea. I should have gotten someone else and saved the Trickster for playing on my PC. Yep, Teo is a good healer. Almost there. Tonight's meal inspired by buying something at the farmer's market and then realizing that you have to use it before it goes bad. And also we had buckets of frickin' tomatoes. I needed to find something to do with all those too. Ding dang, hello Shiny Umbreon, thank you so much for the host. Welcome in. I hope your Thursday is going great. Thank you for coming to hang out and make some dinner and dessert. I hope you have a snack and you are cozy. And it sounded like I was going to say a third thing there, but I didn't come up with a third thing to say. Since Claymore's being lazy. Could say hi to like anyone else. Claymore. Goodness. So I'm literally going to just let this cook in the hot water for 2 minutes, and then I'll take it out, and the beans will be done, and I can assemble the rest of the salad. You can also start working on tomatoes. Pretty much going to use every cherry tomato I have, and then possibly some more. Yeah, it's probably not quite enough, but we'll see. Grey's Anatomy marathon. Our current marathoning show, while we're not paying too much attention, has been what has it been? It's been Z Nation. We just got to season 2. Oh my goodness. Come on. I'm losing half my beans over here. Where is my... Oh, there's a colander. Don't mind me. Staring at the colander right in front of myself and not using it. And I'm going to need that pot again later. I'm going to run some cold water over the beans so they stop cooking, because I want them to stay a little bit crispy. And then I can start making the rest of my salad. Can't watch zombie shows. It's not exactly a, like... I used to be that way. I need to restart my jams. There we go. I used to be, like, very not able to watch zombie shows. Now I've gotten to the point where I just, like, yell at them if they're silly. And at least I know Z Nation is silly. Like, there was one episode they were trying to get into a abandoned pharmaceutical company. And because they needed, like, antibiotics and, like, drugs to trade for things, because people like drugs, especially in the apocalypse. And apparently some of the zombies had gotten into the Viagra. Like, there were some zombies that were on, what's that? What's the study drug that I can't remember? Some were on that. Anyway, some of the zombies were on, like, basically speed, and so they were running around real fast, and some of the zombies were on Viagra. So, very fun. Silly show, but still fun to watch. We just got to season 2, Umbreon. Yes, it was very silly. And of course, season 2 starts with zombie strippers. So, if you wanted to try watching a zombie show, that's one that doesn't take itself too seriously. Tried to taste one, but fell right in my hand. Love a good bean. How's this looking? Actually looks like it's an okay amount of tomatoes. Maybe another one. It's not like I don't have a bunch sitting over here. Gonna give it some seasoned salt. Plus I got some feta cheese to put in there. And some toasted pecans. I would usually use almonds for this, but I had the pecans just sitting around looking for a home. So that's what I'm using. Terrible. Glad to say ACL, but terrible. Terrible. Ooh, it's got a little, like, cradle thing to pull it out. That's clever. I'm not going to use this whole thing, though. Don't need all of it. I also don't feel like that cradle is all that necessary. Honestly, could have just saved the plastic. You heard the man, CL. Keep the cheesy jokes coming for Pete. Check on my rice. It is doing fine. We got 3 minutes left before checking cakes. And salad. Let me throw some... You know what? I've got some already cut lemon hanging around. So I'll use that instead of any vinegar. So I didn't have any buttermilk, but I did have regular milk and lemon. So that's what I used. And that will pretty much do ya. Especially in cakes like this one where the acid isn't really being used. To leaven the cake. It's just there to like tenderize the crumb. I also didn't add any yogurt, which I usually do, which kind of serves the same purpose. But I had all the acid in there already. So I think we'll be all right. And just toss this around, and that salad can just sit here and the flavors can hang out and come together. And that is ready to go whenever the rest of dinner is. too punny for you. You camembert. Okay. Moving on to the chicken. Oop. Had my chicken defrosting in the microwave. And of course, I could, well, now I need to wash my hands so I can check my cakes, because I just got chicken on them. Just gonna grab a toothpick so I can check my cake. Oh, yep, those are, toothpick came out clean, so I would say those are done. I'm gonna pull them out, let them cool in the pan for a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop them in the fridge to finish cooling all the way down, because I'm gonna make some custard, and I don't want that to melt. But there's my cooked cake. That's true, we hadn't even thought about that. They're happy to come hang out and board game. So I'm gonna move my wooden cutting board because I don't want to get chicken on it. Get out this cutting board instead, because this cutting board can go through the dishwasher. And I'm gonna cube up my chicken because I don't want it to have to cook in the oven for 40 minutes. One, because I don't want to turn the oven on again because it's already hot enough in the house. And two, it's not like I have nice thighs, skin on thighs, where I want to get like a really nice crispy skin on it. So it's going to be a little quicker and easier so we can eat. But the other downside, Riverdale night. Thank you for popping in, CL. Always love when a friend stops by. So what I was saying is, we're not going to get like the same flavor we would get out of a bone-in, skin-on chicken thigh. So we're going to have a couple other tricks to get some flavor into here. Mark came over to spy on what I was doing. What, these thighs? Do go on. Okay. I'll use this one so I don't have to get another one dirty. So what flavor profile am I going for? So I'm gonna just use, I think, salt, pepper, garlic, and cumin on this chicken. Should also probably put some sort of oil in this pan. Another reason I've got this butter out on the counter. Hi.
Sorry.
Being blocked. You're in the way. Get out of here. What are you looking for? Tiny tomato. I use all the tiny tomatoes. Mark, have some cherries. Mark came in looking for a snack, and all he got was me telling him to get out of my way. Okay, so just gonna let this chicken brown up with those spices on it. And I can start working on other stuff. Bring my cutting board back so I can dice up my vegetables. So I realized that somehow I'm out of onions, but what I do have is a leek, which are also an oniony flavor profile. So I'm going to use that instead. Doesn't smell like anything yet. He's trying to stoke the ego over here. Oh, it smells good. Nothing's even happening yet. I guess he can smell the cake. Of course, I'm also using farmer's market garlic, so I have fairly small bulbs over here, which means they are a little bit more of a pain to peel, but that's alright. They taste and smell real good. You can make me another cocktail. Same thing. So I made a bunch of coffee this morning, and then I went to the office. It's right here.
Ice? No ice?
Ice in the shaker. I made a bunch of coffee before I left for work in the morning, and then I forgot to take it with me, which was no good. So I did all this stuff looking for a cocktail that uses coffee, since I already had it all made. And I found some, like, oddly tropical cocktails that use coffee. So we don't have any more triple sec, but we can just leave that out. But triple sec is not simple syrup. Triple sec is orange liqueur. So just do a shot of the pineapple brandy. And then the coffee. And then really that's it. Without the triple sec. Unless you can find something else to substitute. Did I get this one crushed? That's it. And the coffee. No. Pour coffee from the thingy into it. Yes. Not to the top, but as much as you can like do to shake it. Yeah, you're gonna pour it over ginger beer. The ginger beer's over here in the hall. Yeah.
Is that Spindrift?
No, the Zevia. I guess I'm shaking it myself. Oh, might need a new glass because I had a frosty glass before. I suppose. I gotta turn my chicken though.
Are you putting this in first?
I used a half can of the ginger ale before, so now I have like another half can. I should have changed to the stream view so you could see me make the cocktail. It's fun doing this one though because it gets nice and foamy, and there's nothing like that would foam up in there. Okay, what was I doing? Just chopping onions and garlic. That's what I was doing. Leeks and garlic, rather. And a bell pepper. I need to buy him some silicone straws.
You wouldn't let me get dehydrated in virtual reality.
That's not what I said. He's either playing VR, and so he needs a straw so he can sip his drink. And I need to get him some silicone straws so he can have a non-disposable straw to use. Hello, Axel Uwu. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Grab a snack and get comfy. Why did I turn down the heat on my chicken? That was silly. rice. My rice is doing fine. Let's get these cakes out of the pan while we're looking at them. Put this here just to give myself some space to work. Look how nice and easy this came out. There's our cakes. Nice and done. Smelling lovely and yellow, I suppose, since they are yellow cakes. I'm going to pop them into the fridge so they can chill down and I can cover them in stuff. And let's wipe off my springform base because I want to put them back in the springform to build it. There we go. Chicken is mostly done, so I'm going to transfer this out of the pan so I can start working on the rest of my stuff. There we go. Got my peppers, and I'm going to actually do some more peppers because we had some peppers from a neighbor from her garden, and they need to get used up because they're a little bit sun damaged. That's fine. Nothing otherwise wrong with them, so just cut off the little sunburnt part, and the rest of it's good to go. Remember to make your claw while you're chopping, so you don't slice your fingers at all. There we go. Now's when it starts to smell good in here. Now that we have that onion, well, the leek and the garlic frying up. There's a little bit more oil. Well, a little bit of oil. Didn't use any before. Used butter before. And I'm going to cut up the rest of my veg to go in here. Gonna get all my veg into one pot. Great way to feed vegetables to kids. Just load up like a pasta sauce with cooked down veg. Although honestly, I've been sending some pictures of food to the family lately, and I was surprised by how interested my nephews seem to be. Oops, make sure you take your labels off of your bell peppers. Good thing I caught that. Goodness. Probably wasn't worried about it because I was thinking about the homegrown peppers. Don't have any labels on them. I got a few carrots, which I'm going to peel down. Always peel them before you trim the ends off, because then you're not worrying about getting to the very, very tip. Nice quick chop, and then back in the pan. Only 2 more things to chop, I think. Things that, of course, are not in this recipe, but they're sitting around, and I need to use them. I'm gonna just putting them in the order of how long they need to cook. So I'm going to cut up that zucchini last. I'm going to get my chilies in now. And of course with your chilies, Just be mindful of your audience and how spicy they like it. If they don't like it so spicy, just take the seeds out. I'm going to take the seeds out of this one because these homegrown chilies tend to be pretty spicy. So we don't need the seeds of both. But we do want some heat, so we'll leave one of them in. Okay. These are like mostly seedless somehow. There we go. Okay. Now we need to add some liquid to the pan so this can get simmering down. I'm going to add some more cumin to this. Gonna add canned black beans. And a can of tomato paste. And then to get some more of that umami flavor going on, I've got some miso paste to add. And that'll give us some nice, rich, deep flavor without having to cook it for a million years. There we go. I can probably turn off my rice. Yes, my rice is done. So now it has stuff on both ends. Let's get a new one. Or just use my other implement that I already have going over here. And I'm just kind of using the liquid that was in that can of beans to get everything mixed together and hanging out. So now, if you were using full chicken breasts or skin on chicken thighs like the recipe calls for, you would get that pretty much set down on top of here and transfer it to the oven and then let that get crispy. But since I'm not doing that, I am going to add some more liquid to this. If I have any chicken stock, I'll add some chicken stock. If I don't, I will find another option. Don't mind the screaming husband back there. So, just gonna use some chicken broth, concentrated chicken broth. And I'll add my chicken back in, which is in a hot pan. It's hot enough around the stove to get that chicken, or to get that pan nice and hot, even though it's never actually on the flame. Okay. So I'm just going to let this sit here and simmer until it all comes together. And now I can make some of the other components for my cream pies. Which I honestly should have done earlier because they're not going to be cold enough to assemble on stream. Alright, sleep tight, Pete. It is getting late over there. Nice to see you. I will definitely post pictures of these when they are all done. Okay. So I've got a pan over here. That's a different thing. Where are you? What did I do? There we go. So I'm going to make my pastry cream. And I'm not going to make things harder on myself by using oat milk, which I did last time. I'm going to start bringing my milk and cream up to a simmer. And I'm going to add my banana into this as well. So I just got 2 bananas. I'm gonna squeeze right out into my milk and cream. Start getting that mashed up. Let's actually use my potato masher. Okay, and then I need to get a second bowl, or another container. And this is where I'm going to get my stuff ready for my custard. Get my whisk back out. Just now occurred to me. I don't think I put any sugar in my cake. Oh no. Eggs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here I call myself a pseudo professional. So everyone just pretend I put sugar in those. And maybe I'm remaking them before I try to assemble. That might be why they're a little bit flat. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. And like I said, I don't have any backup eggs. So I have no way to try to fix that right now. Ah, silly. This is the fault of a recipe that does not list the ingredients in the order in which you use them. The ingredients are listed: flour, cornstarch, sugar, baking powder, salt. And then when you make your dry mixture, you put in flour, baking powder, cornstarch, salt. And then it says cream your butter, but then it says with the sugar. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Little lesson. One, make sure. I even had the sugar sitting out here and I didn't use it. I guess that's a lesson to everyone, especially myself. Oh goodness. Right? Yeah. So we'll taste the cake when we trim it. See what it tastes like. Because it might actually be okay. And there's plenty of other sugary things going on that we don't really need the sweetness. And I could also just soak it with like a sugar syrup. So I have options. Whatever. We know that the custard's going to be good. And the caramel ganache is going to be good. Oh well. These things happen. If we taste it and it's not going to work, then I'll make new cakes before I assemble. And wait till that happens before posting. That also might be why they cook so fast. It also might be any number of things. Okay. So I've got hot milk cream mixture. And get my sieve ready because I'm going to need it. Thank you, Lee. I am working that whisk. I'm going to get myself a little mat for my bowl so that I don't have to hold on to it while whisking. And slowly pour this cream into my eggs to temper them. Whisking real fast so we don't cook our eggs. Six, 4. It is early for you, Lee. You're an early riser. Do you work early? Because my clock is saying it's like 4:30 for you in the AMs. Haven't been to bed yet. Okay. That is also a thing. I am not good at staying up that late. Oh, 2:26. Why did I think it was later? It's 6:26 here. Oh, because I guess I just can't math. Because it's not 8:26 here, it's 6:26. I'm looking at my clock that says 18:26 and just being bad at math. Okay, now that my eggs are tempered, I can put this back into here. And get this back on the stove until it thickens. Which should take not too long. Let me step away for 1 sec to give Leisha a shout out. How was oh, you were playing some no, you were playing Dead by Daylight this morning with Snowy. You weren't playing just now with Polly, because Polly's with his Dixper crew. I did watch Snowy playing for a little bit with you and with Haggy. So I hope all those went well. I'm sure you've played some more since then. Done some killing. Turn my heat up a little bit. Because I do want this to come back to a boil, because that's what activates my cornstarch. And we'll get this nice and thick. My eggs are already cooked, but I want to keep it moving so I don't scramble them. And a nice, smooth custard. And it'll start getting thicker right before your eyes. So you don't want to leave it and check chat for too long, because if you do, then you're going to have curdled custard. And you can see as it keeps going, it stops. Like when you first start whisking it, it's loose enough that it creates a little vortex, and you can see the bottom of your pan. And as you keep whisking it, it'll get thicker and thicker and stop doing that for you. This is also, of course, your good arm workout for the day. Almost there. It's also a really good base. Like just this, if I were going to make a plain banoffee pie, would go right in my base, or in my cooked pie crust. Here we go. I do want this to get a little bit extra thick because I want it to hold up in the middle of my cake layers. My cake layers that I may or may not have to remake. If you want to do this easier without having to like whisk through and then strain out your bananas, you of course can use banana essence, banana flavoring. I think that's going to do it for us. We're nice and thick here. I'm going to turn off the heat and continue to whisk it. Let some steam cook off. And then we're going to strain it and get it in the fridge to cool down. And I'm not going to drop this straight in the sink because I know I need to use it again. Just going to get a big spoon to push this through my sieve with. Oh, sweaty games, jeez. Oh, because of the new matchmaking, right. I have not been on in a couple of days, so I have not had the chance to witness this myself. This is a little bit of extra work with the banana in it especially, but it will be worth it. Better be worth it. I'm sweating over here. Wishing I was ambidextrous right about now, so I could switch arms and do this as effectively on the other side. Though honestly, that just tapping it through seemed like it was working pretty well. Makes me glad I only did a half recipe. If I had done the full thing, I would have been standing over here forever. Plus, it wouldn't have all fit in the one sieve, and I would have had to somehow be stirring that to keep it from curdling while I was doing this part. And I can't even recruit the husband right now because he's over there playing VR mini golf. There's still so much in here. I want to get it all. It's kind of like sifting goo. Torres! Mark's over there telling someone about the nailed it thing I did on Zoom, and he could not remember the name of the pastry chef who runs the show. So, not just me yelling out Torres at someone. Jacques Torres. Okay. I think that's about all we're going to get. The rest of this is banana pieces. I'm trying, Rod. I'm tired. But I think I've got as much custard as I'm going to get out of here. Whew. Okay. Let's get that into the fridge to chill out. Tastes like bananas, so I'd say mission accomplished. Also, hello, Rod. How are you? I hope you are feeling better. I am honored that you have the energy to come and say hi. Oh, come on. Saran wrap is honestly one of my least favorite things. And there's only a couple things where I actually feel like I need to use it. And this is one of them. Keeping my pastry smooth, my pastry cream nice and smooth. Not forming a skin. This is the second week in a row I've made pastry cream on stream. This one came out better. Oof, my hands are tired from that. Goodness. Okay, now I need to wash this pan so I can make some chocolate caramel sauce for the offie part of my banoffee banana cream. Boston banoffee banoffee Boston cream pie. That's it. Okay. Okay, so this part is an experiment, and I've got not quite an idea of what I'm doing. So hopefully it'll turn out. On the up and up today was rough. Made dinner, washed the dishes, cleaned the stove, and mopped the kitchen. Ooh, and do some art, some watercolor, some lovely things. Please also go see Rod. Rod is lovely. We love Rod. He is not streaming this week, but please go check out his YouTube, where he's been doing some lovely watercolor things. Rod's played a part in me bringing Quake into existence. So we will always be thankful to him. I say we a lot, referring to myself. Not because I'm using WePrint, I don't know why I do that. Okay, so I need to add some sugar into here. And is my whisk is clean. Is it? Okay. Okay. Good. I didn't want to be like pretentious over here. Because I still use he, him pronouns, so I didn't want to thinking I was pluralizing myself or using they. I don't know how much that translates. Do people with they, them pronouns tend to use we referring to themselves? I haven't really thought about it before. So I'm just cooking down my sugar and butter over here until it gets nice and kind of golden caramely color. Let me get out some cream because I'm going to need that. And I can leave it on medium, just kind of let it rock. Okay. I need a camera over here now. And I do have some liquid in here with the sugar, which makes it a little bit more forgiving. So it's not gonna just burn up on me all of a sudden. And it'll also make it easier to incorporate my cream when I do that. I'm gonna turn it down and I'm gonna get some chocolate ready. Those are chips. Whoop. I need my stool over here practically. I'm too short. Too short to do that. Rod, come be tall in my kitchen for me, please. Are you tall, Rod? I have the impression of you being tall. I seem to have lost my tall thing. I'm only 5'9", and I have short arms, so I have like a double whammy of shortness over here. Oh, there we go. I can just chop this chocolate up. Good. Because I need it. Because Clay is like 6'2", 6'3", but he's over there yelling, playing his mini golf. Okay, there we go. Chocolate nice and chopped. He does enjoy his mini golf. It's we have some friends that used to live out here that moved to Minnesota? Michigan? Somewhere out there in a cold state. And I'm gonna let that keep going. It's not turning caramel colored on me yet, so it's not ready. And that's his like weekly, or sometimes twice or 3 times weekly, way to hang out with them on VR playing mini golf. Come on. Cook. Cook sugar. Cook. There we go. That's looking better. My sugar's getting darker. My butter is separating, which which is what I want right now, because it's letting my sugar get loose. And I know it's called banoffee pie, but I think most people just do like banana and caramel. So I'm not going to take this all the way to like hard cracked toffee stage. But as it goes, it gets darker and browner, and that is caramelizing the sugar, getting it to that nice caramel flavor. This is not the original house stove. The other one broke, and we got this one on sale. And I need to clean it. It needs to be cleaned. But yeah, I've been thinking about stoves lately because my husband is an air quality. He works in air quality. And, oh, here we go. Here's our nice caramel color. It's almost there. But keep it moving now because it'll burn on you pretty quick. I'm going to add some cream, which will make it sizzle up because the cream is much colder than what's been going on in there. Then just whisk that till it's all smooth. Anyway, I was saying Clay works in air quality, and just working over like a gas stove is bad in terms of your health and breathing. So I think in a future home we would go back to electric and use an induction stove. And as long as you have stainless steel cookware, it should work just fine. Stainless steel or cast iron. Yeah, so if you have like you can get the option for a gas cooktop and an electric stove, you could also do that. That helps cut down on the PM. As long as and the induction stoves are really good for cooking. I mean, I grew up with a like electric coil stove, which is terrible, and I would never want to go back to. But with induction cooktops these days, you have a lot better options. So I'm making my ganache for the top of my banoffee Boston cream pie, but instead of just using cream, I made a caramel cream, so I'd get that caramel toffee flavor. Yes, oh my goodness. Our friends have like just an induction plate that they use for heating up their coffee water in the morning, and that thing is lighting fast. So I'm just stirring my chocolate down into there until it's smooth. I can also add some salt to this, make it a nice salted caramel toffee kind of experience. And I would still recommend against tasting it at this point because this is still very hot. And I had definitely burned my mouth before. So do not put this in your mouth without a lot of cooling applied to it. But that is done. Could actually add some more chocolate if it's still nice and hot. And that would even melt it down faster, or cool it down faster. Ooh. I might actually add some more chocolate, just because I don't think it's going to be thick enough. And it should be hot enough to melt this down. And of course, if you don't want to go through this effort, you can also always just use some store-bought caramel sauce and mix that into your ganache. And there we go. I think I will plate up some dinner, show that off, and then call it good, because we still need our cream to cool more, and I might need to rebake cakes, and for that I need to buy more eggs. So, if that is the thing, then there's no use in trying to put it together now, because that'd be a waste of cake, or a waste of my other hard work. So we've got our rice, just nice and fluffy. And we've got our skillet chicken, kind of chicken bean stew kind of stuff. We put some tomato paste and miso fermented soy paste in here to give it some depth of flavor, since we weren't using chicken thighs. Mark made a printed a cup, and it's got a little screw-in top. Gonna top it with some final salt, some torn greens, and there is our dinner. And I'm sure Mark will run over here and grab that so he can start eating. And let's go back to Cam over here. So we have our cakes that we made still chilling, that we may or may not have to remake for reasons. But our banana custard came out great. Our toffee ganache is all ready to go on top. So once those are all ready and good to go, I will assemble the cake and make pictures of it happen. Yep, he came over and took the food. For he is hungry. He worked up an appetite playing VR mini golf. Yes. So I made the banoffee cream pie. So I put the banana in the custard and the toffee caramel stuff in the ganache, and we'll sandwich that with our yellow cake and see how it turns out. But for now, let's find someone to raid. Let's raid. We can always raid Dan. We love Dan. There we go. So thank you very much for coming and hanging out and cooking with me all through my mistakes and my other successes. Um, don't get too flustered if you forget to put sugar in your cake. Just toss it out and redo it. It'll be fine. It's not a big deal. I caught it before I tried to serve it, so that's the important thing. Um, oh, I forgot to serve Mark some salad.
Oh, we have salad?
We also made green bean salad, which is lovely and fresh and delicious. So he's gonna come back and get some of that. And I will see you all next time. Let's go show Dan some love. Thank you. I hope you make your own chicken stew and salad and cakes that have sugar in them. And whatever you do make, please share. I would love to see it on social media. And whatever you make, I'm sure it'll be good enough to eat. I've been Quake. This is what I baked. And good night.
Welcome in, Raiders. Quake, thanks for sharing your community with me. I am currently playing a lasagna crab.